I grew up on the original Battlefront II, a game that released in 2005 and is still on my Xbox even till today. But that's not the game I want to talk about. I want to talk about its older brother, a lesser known godfather of video games, of what modern games look like today. Battlefront 1, released in 2004. It's a game. It is maybe one of the most interesting games I've ever played, because looking at its sequel, there is so much that was just copied and pasted over just to meet the deadlines, but there was so much that was removed, so much that was changed, and it's just interesting to look at this game compared to the sequel that I've loved so much, and to go back and to see why this game should and will be a godfather of gaming right alongside Call of Duty and Halo. That's the position it deserves, but Star Wars doesn't know how to treat Battlefront correctly, so it's just fallen by the wayside. And that always sucks. This is maybe one of the first important third-person shooters. It was a pretty popular genre back in the day. It's kind of regaining a little bit of relevance, but most of all, it really just was the third-person shooter. It was the Star Wars game that you could fight in. There's the Jedi Starfighter game I always talk about, where it's like, did that game really come out? But Battlefront 1 was that game where you could just sit down with your friend and battle and fight a big army in a giant map with vehicles and characters and looking at heroes running around the battlefield. You couldn't play as the heroes yet, but just seeing them, that's what's cool. It encapsulated what Star Wars was. It was the war. It was fighting. And that's what this game shines in. The maps are overly big. There's no sprinting in this game. Every single time I try, I always end up proning, which is just a weird feature that they removed from the game. You have to walk every single place, and even when you get there, you might as well just die immediately. The AI seems a little bit tougher. There's even a third faction AI in some maps. It's all there just to make you feel like you're in a giant battle. Was the reason for this just because they couldn't handle the amount of assets loading? Probably, but then don't make a map like Bespin Platforms, where it's the biggest map and should have returned as DLC in Battlefront 2. I'm getting off tangent. It's a great map. Go play it. If you haven't, if you still have Battlefront 1, go play Bespin Platforms. Great map. Battlefront 1 truly shined in its ability just to have fun, to create battles, to create your own little stories in a galaxy far, far away. That's what Battlefront is. That's why EA or whoever makes the next Star Wars game should just make Battlefront a series that comes out every 2 to 3 years. Please. This game series deserves so much. It was my childhood. It was so many other people's childhoods. And it deserves something. It deserves one last shot. Because this game, Battlefront 1, 2004, deserves one last hurrah into the sunset, to be remembered as the game that it is right now. There's nothing greater, there's nothing smaller. It's just Battlefront 1, a game that defined a generation. Its sequel did that, but it really started without the 1. You can't have the 2. So in a way, Battlefront 2's success is because of Battlefront 1. Because Battlefront 2 takes maps, character designs, weapons from this game. So without it, what do we have? If you haven't played Battlefront 1 in a long time, I would give it a replay. I would give it one chance. It may feel weird, the command posts are green, you walk everywhere, but I've really found enjoyment in this game. I've called this game Magic in a Bottle before, a couple of years ago. I did a Battlefront retrospective, and that's the title I called it. But this game really was Magic in a Bottle. It really was the start of something I don't think anybody expected. This game deserves to be remembered, and I think you should go play it and remember the good times if you played this game as a kid. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy what I do, maybe consider checking out some of my other stuff. Thank you so much.